In the humid heat of the Triassic, a massive predator stands perfectly still, its breath a low, rhythmic hiss. This is Prestosuchus, a mountain of muscle and scales watching a rival approach across the riverbank. There is no roar, no warning, only the sudden, violent explosion of movement as two apex titans collide in a struggle for territory that has no room for mercy. This is the raw, unyielding reality of Earth's deep past, a story written in stone and bone that we are only just beginning to read. Before we descend further into the shadows of these lost empires, take a moment to join our journey through time by subscribing to the channel. Your support allows us to continue unearthing these forgotten chronicles of life and death. Now, let us look closer at the fragments of a world that existed long before the first human footprint was ever pressed into the earth. The history of our planet is not a straight line, but a complex tapestry of rise and fall, of absolute dominance followed by total erasure. We often think of ourselves as the masters of the world, yet we are merely a brief chapter in a book that is millions of pages long. Each fossil fragment, every weathered footprint, and every delicate imprint in the shale serves as a vital clue in reconstructing a world that has long since vanished. Scientists continue to assemble this immense puzzle, revealing creatures and ecosystems that constantly challenge our limited understanding of what life is capable of achieving. To understand the scale of this story, we must go back to the very beginning of the vertebrate lineage. Over 500 million years ago, the ancient seas held a secret that would eventually lead to the existence of every bird, mammal, and reptile you see today. Metaspriggina swam through the currents of the Burgess Shale, a tiny, unassuming creature that looked like little more than a silver needle in the vast blue. Yet inside its simple body, it carried the foundational traits of all complex life, including early gill structures. These humble arches would eventually evolve into the jaws and skull components that allowed later predators to tear through flesh and bone. It is a humbling thought to realize that your own ability to speak, to eat, and to breathe began with a small fish 500 million years ago. Metaspriggina represents the first draft of the vertebrate blueprint, proving that the most profound changes often start with the smallest innovations. Survival in those early seas was not about size, but about the slow, steady perfection of a design that could endure the tests of time. This tiny swimmer was the spark that ignited the explosion of life, a quiet pioneer in a world of giants yet to come. As the eons passed, the waters of Earth became a battlefield for creatures of nightmare proportions. Around 390 million years ago, during the Devonian period, the undisputed ruler of the aquatic world was Jaekelopterus. This was not a fish or a reptile, but a sea scorpion of staggering size, reaching up to 2.5 meters in length. Imagine a creature longer than a tall man, encased in heavy armor, gliding through the brackish waters with the silent intent of a ghost. It wielded massive, clawed appendages, capable of capturing and crushing prey with terrifying precision. Jaekelopterus was a near-perfect predator, possessing wide vision and a body built for the kill. It reminds us that dominance in Earth's history predates even the earliest vertebrate giants. The natural law of the Devonian was simple. If you were smaller than the claws of the sea scorpion, you were nothing more than energy to be consumed. This giant represents a time when the rules of life were still being written. A period of experimentation where nature pushed the boundaries of how large and how lethal a hunter could be. But the story of life is one of constant migration and transformation, a restless urge to conquer new frontiers. While the seas were ruled by giants, the land was beginning to see its own masters rise from the mud. In the Middle Triassic of what is now India, a robust herbivore known as Prehistoric wandered the warm floodplains. This was a world still stabilizing after global upheaval, a landscape shaped by evolutionary experimentation and the raw need to survive. Prehistoric bore symmetrical, horn-like structures on its head, giving it an appearance that seems almost mythological. These horns were likely not for defense against predators, but for the complex social dances of mating and territory. Fossil evidence from multiple individuals found together suggests that Shringosaurus lived in groups, indicating a level of social interaction we rarely attribute to such ancient beasts. It shows us that even in a world of harsh survival, there was room for display, for ritual, and for the intricate dynamics of a population. This horned enigma reminds us that life is not just about the hunt, but about the bonds and behaviors that keep a species together. The Triassic period was a crucible of evolution, a time when the blueprints of the future were being tested in the fires of competition. In the river deposits of Brazil, the formidable Prestosuchus emerged as the dominant land predator following a mass extinction. Though it is often mistaken for a dinosaur, it belonged to a distinct lineage of crocodilian ancestors that stood tall on upright limbs. This posture gave it a terrifying advantage, allowing it to move with an efficiency and speed that its sprawling relatives could never match. Prestosuchus was a regulator of its ecosystem, a silent shadow that kept the populations of herbivores in check through sheer predatory strength. Its adaptability allowed it to thrive in a world that was still recovering, proving that power in nature is often about the ability to move better than your rivals. There is a cold, Machiavellian beauty in its design, a creature built for total control of its environment. It reigned supreme for millions of years, a testament to the fact that before the dinosaurs ever took the throne, there were other kings who wore the crown of the apex predator. However, the call of the ocean is a powerful force, and some lineages chose to return to the depths they had once left behind. During the late Jurassic and early Cretaceous, Jaekelopterus became the terror of the open seas. This was a marine crocodilomorph that had fully committed to the water, trading its legs for flippers and its tail for a powerful rudder. Unlike modern crocodiles that wait at the water's edge, Jaekelopterus was a pelagic hunter, roaming the vast blue with the confidence of a shark. Its skull was a masterpiece of destructive engineering, built for crushing bites and armed with serrated teeth that could tear through the toughest hides. Jaekelopterus occupied the very top of the oceanic food chain, a dark silhouette rising from the depths to strike with lightning speed. Its evolution represents a dramatic U-turn in the history of life, a return from the land to the sea that showcases the incredible flexibility of the reptilian form. It tells us that in the struggle for survival, no environment is off-limits if you have the tools to conquer it. While some sought power in the water, others found success on the ancient plains through resilience and communication. In Cretaceous Australia, a dinosaur named Metaspriggina thrived in environments that were lush and green, far different from the red deserts we see today. Discovered in 1963, it remains one of the most complete skeletons ever found in the region. Its most defining feature was a pronounced nasal bulge, a hollow chamber that likely allowed it to produce deep, resonating calls. Imagine the sound of a Metaspriggina echoing across the plains, a low-frequency hum that could be heard for miles. This was more than just noise. It was a tool for communication, for warning the herd of danger, or for claiming a territory. As a large herbivore that could move on both 2 and 4 legs, it was a versatile and successful animal. Its existence highlights the behavioral complexity of dinosaurs, showing us that they were not just mindless eating machines, but social creatures that used sound to navigate their world. The further we look into the past, the more our assumptions begin to crumble under the weight of new evidence. For a long time, we pictured dinosaurs as scaly, lizard-like creatures, but the discovery of Jaekelopterus in Jurassic Siberia changed everything. This small herbivore was found with fossils that preserved skin impressions, revealing a mix of scales and feather-like filaments. It was a shocking revelation that suggested feathers were not a late invention for flight, but an ancient trait used for insulation or social display. Quilandadromeus reshapes our evolutionary narrative, showing us that even the most primitive dinosaurs might have been covered in soft, colorful down. It forces us to imagine a world that was much more vibrant and complex than the gray, stony images in our textbooks. This discovery reminds us that our understanding of the world is always incomplete, and that nature has a way of hiding its most beautiful secrets in the most unlikely places. The past is not a fixed image, but a living story that continues to evolve with every turn of the shovel. As we look back at these echoes of a lost world, we see a recurring theme of adaptation, survival, and transformation. From the tiny Metaspriggina to the massive Jaekelopterus, every organism played its part in the grand theater of life. They faced mass extinctions, shifting continents, and the relentless pressure of competition. Their stories are not just tales of long-dead monsters. They are reflections of the same natural laws that govern our world today. The struggle for resources, the need for social connection, and the drive to pass on one's legacy are universal truths that transcend time. We can learn a powerful lesson from these ancient lives. The only constant in the universe is change. Those who survived were not always the strongest or the largest, but those who could adapt to a changing environment. In our own lives, we often fear change, clinging to the familiar even when it no longer serves us. But the fossils tell us that transformation is the heartbeat of existence. To thrive, one must be willing to evolve, to shed the old ways and embrace the new, just as the ancestors of Dinosaurs shed their legs for the sea. As you go about your day, think about the incredible journey that led to this moment. You are the recipient of 500 million years of successful adaptation. Every breath you take is a tribute to the ancestors who refused to die out, who fought through the darkness of extinction to ensure that life would continue. What will be your contribution to this ongoing story? How will you adapt to the challenges of your own era to ensure that your legacy endures? The past is a mirror, reflecting our own fragility and our incredible potential. We are part of a lineage that has survived everything the Earth could throw at it. It is a reminder to stay curious, to keep questioning, and to never assume that we have the full picture. The more we learn about the creatures that came before us, the more we realize how connected we are to the entire history of our planet. We are not separate from nature, we are its latest expression. Before we part ways, I want to leave you with a question to ponder. If a future civilization were to find the remains of our world millions of years from now, what do you think would be the most defining fossil of the human race? Would it be our structures, our technology, or something more intangible that we leave behind? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights help turn this channel into a true community of explorers. Thank you for wandering through the deep reaches of time with us today. If you found this journey through the lost worlds of Earth intriguing, please hit the like button and share this video with someone who loves the mysteries of nature. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a chapter of our evolving story.